Okay. Researchers have found that the predominant thoughts running through our mind are the way that our life is going to move. So if we're always focused on how overworked we are, underappreciated, how stressed we are, how overwhelmed we are, then that's the direction that we are going to move in. Human systems grow in the direction of what they persistently ask questions about. So rather than asking and thinking about all your stress, think about what brings you happiness. As the Dalai Lama said, the very purpose of our life is happiness. The very motion of our life is towards happiness. That's really what we're all looking for, is happiness. Now, I'd like you to think about the level in your well. How well have you been taking care of yourself? How much energy do you feel that you have to keep up professionally in the great work that you're doing, personally for your family and your friends and your communities, for yourself, meeting your own needs? Are you on the verge of burnout? Your fuel tank or your oxygen tank, however you want to look at it, is nearly empty? Or do you have plenty of energy? Have you been eating well, exercising, sleeping well, taking time for yourself, engaging in creative activities that you enjoy, spending time with fun people who make you feel good about yourself? That's raising the level in your well. I guarantee you that as you bring in activities that you enjoy, that help you to feel good about yourself, the level of stress in your life will come down. You'll be more in touch with what's best for you. You won't be as likely to say yes to something that you really wanted to say no to. You'll be better able to prioritize. You'll be better able to set your expectations, to know what you can really do. So coming back to what's most helpful to you. So I shared this concept at a conference for nurses, that if you bring up the level in your well, the level of stress in your life will come down. And a woman came up to me at the break and she said, "Do you really believe that? I don't really get it. You know, if I'm so busy, like, how am I going to find time to take care of myself, and how is that going to help?" And I said, well, in my own experience, I have definitely seen it in many other people. The more you take care of yourself, the better you're going to be able to meet the needs of other people. If you're on a plane and the flight attendant goes through the safety instructions and he or she says, in the event of an emergency, if the oxygen mask falls down and you're sitting next to someone who's going to need your help, who do you put the oxygen mask on first? What is the reality of many of your lives? We take care of other people, and then we run short of time to exercise, to eat well, to do things that we enjoy doing. So this woman when she came up to me, she said, well, you know, I'm going through a really tough time in my life right now. My in-laws are quite sick, and I'm the one who's been given the responsibility of taking care of them. And she was going to therapy, which was a good thing. And she said that one day I went into the therapist, and the therapist said to me, well, if you didn't have to spend so much time taking care of your in-laws, what would you do for yourself? And do you know, as she told me this story, her eyes filled with tears. And she said, I sat there in silence for minutes. I couldn't think of a single thing that I would do for myself. And she said, finally, I blurted out, I don't know, I guess I'd go for a walk. She had lost touch with what makes her happy, what helps to lower her stress and raise her level of happiness. So I hope that you can make a commitment, as small as it might be, to bring pleasure into your everyday life, to bring the breath, bring the mindfulness, bring the activity. So what I'd like you to do is just share with one person one thing that you find, because it's always fun to hear from other people what helps to lower their level of stress. So if you're sitting next to somebody you know, pick somebody else if you would, and just like quickly share. And it's more likely if you tell somebody that you will actually engage in this activity in the next few days. It's nice to hear that there's so many things that you like to do. I'm glad to hear that you didn't have a shortage of things to say. Okay, if I could have your attention back. I know that's a dangerous thing to do, letting everybody talk to one another. If there was only one message that you took home from my presentation today, it is that self-care is not selfish. You give so much of yourselves physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You need to give back to yourself. Otherwise, you will have health effects. It will affect your level of happiness. You will lose touch with what's most meaningful and important in your lives. So coming back to what you can do to take better care of yourself. When I worked as a nurse at Brigham and Women's Hospital, I saw many, many different sad situations. The phenomenon that sticks with me most are the people who came in mid-60s, diagnosed with an inoperable aneurysm or terminal cancer, and told me, I waited my entire life for this period of my life. I only retired 3 months ago. I never traveled, I worked tons of hours, I didn't spend a lot of time with my family and my friends. Basically, they had postponed their happiness for this part of their life. We don't know what's going to happen when we leave here today, tomorrow, next week. I encourage you to think about what's most important to you, to better take care of yourselves, for your own sake, for the sake of your family and your friends, your community, and certainly for the people who you're trying to help through the work that you do. I read a quote in a book by Larry Dossey. It was quoted a layperson, actually. Her name is Margaret Bonanno, and I thought, oh, she must be somebody famous. But when I actually got to ask Larry Dossey at a workshop, he said, no, it's just a layperson. But very simple words with a very profound message. As Margaret Bonanno reminds us, it is only possible to live happily ever after on a day-to-day basis. It's only possible to live happily ever after on a day-to-day basis. Don't postpone your happiness for just Saturdays and Sundays, or the summer vacation, or the day that all of your bills are paid and your kids have moved out of the house, or whatever it is that you're hoping for. Bring happiness into every day. And one last thing I want to share with you, which is getting a lot of research at the National Institutes of Health, is gratitude. People who are happy, people who are content, people who are healthier have a strong sense of gratitude. As Sheryl Crow sings in her song, it's not having what you want, it's wanting what you've got. I love that line. She only says it once in the entire song, but I love hearing it. It just reminds us to come back to what we already have, instead of wishing that things were different. What is it that you already have in your life? I think it would be pretty safe to say that you have a lot. You were able to get yourself here to this conference. Your friends, your family, you're all well dressed. You all obviously are employed. But instead, sadly, we oftentimes spend a lot of time and energy thinking about what we don't have, what we wish was different about our lives. Joan Bursenko, who I mentioned a little earlier, wrote an article, and in the article she said, the average person wakes up and their first thought is about their fears, worries, and anxieties. Before they know it, they have set the stage for continuous stress, disease, and poor health. What if, instead, their first thought was, wow, am I grateful to be alive? Think about what a positive way that would be to start your day. Now, when I first heard this, I thought, I'm not that negative. I don't think something's stressful when I first wake up in the morning. So I paid attention to what I was thinking about, and I challenge you to do this. If it's not tomorrow morning, maybe it's on one of your days that you're back at work. Pay attention to what you're thinking. What's the first thought when you wake up in the morning? Now, this particular day when I decided to do this, my son had come into my bedroom the night before. He told me about a situation at school that he needed to deal with. He was a freshman in high school at the time. And I felt badly for him. He needed to make the decision on his own, but still, I was thinking about it. And sure enough, what do you think I was thinking about the first thought in the morning? Was that situation. So be careful what you do in the hours right before you go to bed, because they will definitely have an impact on your night's sleep and the tone in which you start your next day. Brother David Steindl-Rast is the author of Gratitude, the Heart of Prayer. And as he says, look closely and you will see that people are happy because they are grateful. So gratitude can really change your perspective on life. It can help you to better manage the stress that you have if you can somehow look at it from a perspective of gratitude. I'd like to introduce you by a picture to a dear, dear friend of mine who is probably the most happy, content person I know. He is a huge inspiration to me. This is my friend Gordon. I have known Gordon since 1993. I actually started working as a home care nurse for Gordon 15 years ago. And I still continue to work with him 1 day a week. If you look closely, you can see in the picture under the strap of the hat is that he has a tube there. He's on a ventilator. Gordon has advanced stage muscular dystrophy. But as I said before, he is probably one of the most content people I know. And there's many, many things that Gordon does right. You know, he's very optimistic. He's got a very close network of family and friends. He's committed to creating a fulfilling, amazing life for himself. He is so weak that if his arm falls off the side of the wheelchair, he doesn't have the strength to get it back up. He can no longer eat because his swallowing muscles are so weakened. He can't be off the ventilator for more than a few seconds because he really can't even take a breath on his own, not even one. Yet he has an amazing attitude and an unbelievable way of looking at life. He doesn't wake up every morning and think, why am I stuck in this body? He's a very highly intelligent man. He graduated from Tufts University. He works full-time as a software engineer. And for me, he's an amazing inspiration. So I'll tell you a little story about an incident that occurred with Gordon, just to show you how you can take even some of what causes stress for you and look at it in a very different way. On a Sunday night a couple of years ago, Gordon was called by a doctor who was covering for his primary care physician. Gordon had been running some low-grade fevers, so a few days earlier they had drawn some blood and did some blood cultures. Well, the doctor called at about 9 o'clock on a Sunday night and said, your blood cultures are positive. We need to get you into the hospital right away so we can repeat your blood cultures and we can get you started on some IV antibiotics. Well, it takes about 3 hours for Gordon to go through his nighttime routine and before he's finally settled in bed. So he said to the doctor, well, you know, I haven't been running a fever in the last couple of days. Can I just wait until the morning and call my primary care physician? No, this is very serious. You have bacteria in your bloodstream. You need to get in right away. So Gordon did what he was told. He went into the emergency room, got there, you know, probably 10, 11 o'clock at night. They tried and tried to get an intravenous line into him and couldn't get it in. They were, however, able to get enough blood that they could repeat the blood cultures. So at 5 o'clock in the morning, they said to Gordon, you can go home and call your primary care physician in the morning. Well, over the next couple of days, they found out that the first set of blood cultures had been falsely contaminated. He never had bacteria in his bloodstream. The second set of blood cultures came back negative. So when I saw Gordon a couple days later, we were talking about the situation. I said, oh my gosh, you must have been so angry, so frustrated. I can't believe that they did that to you. Now, I just opened the door for Gordon to complain and moan and be angry. And you know what he said to me instead? I'm just grateful that they came back negative. And that's just his natural response. That's just the way that his mind works. But the more that you can bring gratitude into your life, the more that you can start to shift some of those negative pathways of thoughts into more positive places, or at least more neutral places. What researchers have found, and this is a quote from Ed Diener, is that it really is how you perceive your world That really determines more your level of happiness and how well you cope with situations than to any real concrete ways of your being in the world. So what I want to do, just to wrap up, is to go over the 4 strategies. There's been a lot of information, but what I want you to remember most is to breathe. Come back to breathing, okay? It will help you to be in the present moment. And then have fun. Do things that you enjoy doing. There was a woman once who came to my yoga classes for a few years, and she was having a lot of trouble sleeping. She had participated in a group program for insomniacs and still wasn't getting much relief. So she decided to go for individual counseling with the head of the mind-body program at the Beth Israel Deaconess Hospital at the time. And when she went in there, she came home with some very interesting advice. What the psychologist told her to do was to go home and have fun over the weekend. That was it. She went in paid for a psychologist and everything to tell her to have fun. Sometimes we forget how important having fun is and doing things that are meaningful to us. And then lastly, feeling grateful. Adopting an attitude of gratitude. And I don't think it hurts to repeat this one. Self-care is not selfish. You're doing great work, but you're only going to be able to continue to do great work and to be as creative and productive and to problem solve as well as you possibly can if you give back to yourself. Remember, you're not as creative. You can't problem solve as well when you're overly stressed. You're not doing yourself or anybody else any good. So come back to taking better care of yourself so that you can continue to do the wonderful work that you do without having it take a toll on your own health, your own happiness, the other things in your life that are truly important to you. I'm going to end with a beautiful quote, a poem, a Chinese poem that I came across. And I know we're running, we need to take a break now. So I'm going to be outside for a bit. If you have any questions, comments, feel free to come up and chat with me. And we'll move right on to the end of the presentation. Spring flowers, summer breezes, colors in autumn, snow in winter. If you are awake, this is the best season of your life. Isn't that pretty? Thank you. So we have a break now, so you want to say something?
Yeah, I have a few comments.
Okay, a few comments before you scoot out.
Thank you so much. It's such a reminder that so much is in our control. And I have a whole list of quotes now that I want to put up on my bulletin board.
Oh.
I want to just take a few minutes. I know you're probably anxious because we are due to have a break, but I just want to recognize a few people. You might notice there's a lot of red shirts, and I think this is a great idea because we can really tell who is on the Nor'easter Steering Committee or special people also helping out today. So I just want to recognize a few of them. And those are the people, by the way, if you have problems or complaints, those are the people you see. So, and if as I say your name, will you stand up? From Massachusetts, Mary Ann Marshall. From Maine, Bob Thibodeau. From Rhode Island, Betty Perez. I wanted to stay up, but that's okay. From Vermont, Renee Richardson. From Connecticut, Richard Burt. And from the great state of New York, Camille Jones, Marilyn Dane, Tina Sorrell, and Steve Milner. And I also just want to mention the FNS committee members, the leader of the pack, who's done so much work, Lori Hurd, Katie Blanchett, Joanne Rando, Beth Suhannon, Karen Gurin, and also helping out today and for many, many days, Joyce Robinson, Eddie Ortega. Hey, stand up. Adam Schuster, Tony Green, Michelle, and also Miranda and Bonnie Bradford, our new section chiefs at FNS. And also helping out today, today and for several days, Kevin Sawyer and Laura Padano from our IT staff. Now, when of the things that is part of, and for all of our conferences now or Nor'easters, is the raffles. But one of the things you need to be here. So when we come back from the break, to make sure you come back timely, we'll be doing our first basket raffle. So I'll see you, how about 3:35?
So much of what I just recently
One more reminder about dinner tonight. There are a list of local restaurants on the table out here. They're in yellow. Some of us, last year, the sole proprietor was a restaurant we
Oh,
didn't
you're
get
welcome.
into.
Let me
because
just
we
shut
didn't
this
plan
off
ahead.
so we're not-
So that might be a good option. If you're interested in making a
Sorry,
group
I don't wanna be,
reservation, let us know and we'll see.
So I picked the right people to ask a video and sit up front. You were on board. Thank you. Thank you. Or should I have left my microphone on? Or would you want to read that?
That one.
This one.
One in your right hand.
Yeah. Do you guys mind having a close up? Sorry, I didn't want to be like blasting through the room. Okay.
I'm just thrilled to have met you. You were just on the
thank
mark.
you.
Everything that I needed to hear. You know that saying is that there are no coincidences.
Right.
That you're where you're supposed to be at the moment. I was supposed to be here. And I'm
Thank
really
you. Oh, thank you so much. That's great.
Real pleasure.
Oh,
A lot
thank
of what you
you.
said was part of the conversation that we had on the way.
Really?
And, actually, Teach Not Han, the gentleman you quoted, I'm actually
Oh,
reading
Thich Nhat
a
Hanh?
book around
Yeah.
about anger.
Yeah.
Same, one of the books that he wrote. Excellent.
Thank you. Thank you.
very
Well,
much.
thank
I
you so
appreciate
much.
it.
Thank you. Thanks for coming up and telling me.
You're very helpful.
I put some business cards on the table. There might be some extra ones around, or out at the table where my daughter is
Do you
with
go
the.
to other states?
Yeah, I'll travel anywhere. So
I
yeah.
put her in for the DAS. We have like a yearly training.
Oh, okay.
Universal training. For
Oh, that's great. Everybody has. Everybody can use the message, right?
having a little stress.
No, but you
Yeah.
were a lot different because I've been to stress training before, and you were just so different. I just can't really
I think it was a
explain.
more holistic approach.
Yeah, which is
awesome.
what we all need.
Right. Thank you. Thank you.
I just wanted to say hi.
Hi.
I'm from New York State.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
I just thought you were excellent. Really
Thank
good.
you.
Very good platform skills.
Thank you.
I'm a trainer for New York State. I train people that work for food stamps.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
kind of critical about that stuff.
Right.
Unintentionally, but I think you're excellent. But I'm
Thank
reading
you.
a book right now called Hung by the Tongue, which is how your
Have a-
words can hang you.
Oh,
And It's a
okay.
really good book, and I took a lot of similarities between that and what I'm reading, and just how your negative thoughts really do have a very big impact on how you present yourself to the world. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Right.
I've just been noticing how so many people are more of, oh my God, kill me now, or
Yeah.
just
These horrible
negative-
things
yeah,
that they
these really
say.
horrible things like I can't stand her, or I wish she would die. You know, just
Right.
these little things that really you wouldn't think make an impact, but they really do.
Right.
You're right. They can open up a vortex of negativity.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Well, that's nice of you. It's
But
sweet
you
of
took
you.
a negative situation and made it into a positive.
Yeah.
So, that's what we
Yeah.
have to do.
I actually meant to come back to that and kind of was like getting rushed at the end, but now I can look at the situation and see that it moved my life in a much more positive way.
Right.
So,
But it wouldn't have done that if you
right.
hadn't
Probably
had
not.
thought about it and-
Right. Oh, right. Exactly. Like there had to be some awareness there, but the situation itself was so traumatic for me that it really made me to stop and look at my own life, and yeah, and it opened me up to things that I probably never would have done otherwise, like yoga
Probably
class
affected your
or.
children.
Oh, absolutely, Lindsay.
And,
You know.
just seeing them seeing you take a situation that could have broken you
Right.
in many different ways, but instead made you positive.
Yeah. Well, thank you. That's nice of you.
Have a
Thank
good
you. Thanks very much. Enjoy the rest of the conference. Thanks.
Hey there.
Hi.
I thought it was excellent.
Thank you.
It was awesome.
Thank
I'm a member
you.
of Toastmasters.
Oh,
which is
you
like super
are.
group.
I really appreciated your smiling face there. Thank you so
right in the
much.
front, right? You have to
You
look
were
at my
like
bald
right
head
in
the
the
whole
front.
time,
No,
right?
it was perfect. It was great because you had this huge smile on your face, so it was easy to like zone in on you.
You'll see from the video, I was paying attention most of the time. So.
Okay.
But yeah, very good presentation.
Thank
and
you.
I'm familiar with Thich Nhat
Hanh,
Is that how
yeah.
you said? I always screwed the name up. But I remember reading a little bit of his book. He has a book like this thin, and I think all of his books are pretty thin.
Yeah,
right?
they are pretty small.
The one I remember the most is he talks about eating a tangerine. Are you familiar with this?
And doing it.
Holding the tangerine and unpeeling it and savoring the flavor. But before you get to the flavor, which is what everybody thinks about,
Right.
it's the whole experience of ripping off the peel and the smell of it and just taking in the texture of the flesh of the tangerine and all that kind
Right.
of stuff.
Yeah.
And thinking about where it came from. Was it shipped from, I don't know if he did talk
Oh, wow.
about this, but was it shipped from another country and
Right.
all that kind of stuff. But it's living in the moment. The present.
Exactly. That's what his message, is so much about.
So yeah, and you nailed it with this
Oh,
several
thank
times.
you.
And you did a little bit of repetition and variations of it. So well done.
Well, it's quite a compliment coming from somebody who's doing Toastmasters. And how long are you in your program?
I'm giving my 10th speech in July.
Good for you. Good
so
for you.
I'm really focusing
Excellent.
on those little
Yeah,
techniques and-
yeah, definitely.
It's hard
Well,
enough to-
stories, that's one of the things. I'm part of the National Speakers Association, and that message keeps getting hit to me. When I think about presentations that I've gone to, it's really the stories that I remember. So as much as I can, I'm trying to like bring up the concept, but then maybe share some research examples, but and share a story, because that's what people will.
Oh, it's a great vehicle.
stay with.
And you got them right from the start too, right?
Oh, with my story, yeah.
Yeah, and you kind kind of personalized.
Thank
it, of course.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It makes a connection right away.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't know anything about her, but right
Right.
from the beginning, okay, now we do. Because you can
Right.
read the introductions, of course, about.
Oh, I know.
what the
I know
urinary
myself.
and all
I
that
don't
kind of
even really listen that well to that.
Yeah.
So,
So it's hard
thank
enough,
you.
though. I understand it's hard enough keeping somebody's attention for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Never mind 5 minutes, a whole hour. That's fantastic.
Right. Yeah, people seem pretty engaged. And I was a little nervous because we had, got them in here at like 1:45, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's like after 3 o'clock. But yeah, I was wondering if people are going to need bathroom breaks or stretching.
No, you did all right.
So thank you. Thank you
Thumbs up.
so much.
I just want to say thank you. It was
Do you mind being on a video? Or
Okay. I just want to say, and you know what was nice about it? It was a message that fits everybody. Because we have people who, I was talking about, you could give me a gun-ho message that tells me to go out there and exercise more, and I'd love
Oh,
it. But
yeah.
not everybody wants to hear
No.
that. So this was a great
No,
fit song.
right.
So-
Hopefully it's something,
it did.
there's some piece that everybody can
It's
connect
all this
with.
positive thought and attitude
Yeah,
and all the
yeah.
stuff that, feel
It's
good
big.
about what you
And-
have. Live for today.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm Alan Shannon.
Hi,
I was just going to say that I
Alan.
loved it. It was fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you.
Really enjoyed it. It was good to get that message again. I do yoga or practice
Mm-hmm.
yoga, but a lot of times because I travel, I don't have time, or I'm away, so I can't go to class.
Right.
There are certain moves, like say I've got 10 minutes in my room. What positions should I be doing?
Have you ever learned the sun salutation? I think that's great, doing that as a standing, going through the sun salutations. And what kind of yoga do you practice?
I'm not even sure what it is. It's just the general, not the hot yoga, and we do a lot of the sun salutations. We get on the floor. And I've been doing it now for maybe 10 years. Is is it Hatha yoga?
Hatha yoga, yeah, probably. So, and then, well, I practice Kundalini yoga, which is a little bit different. We do a lot of like spinal exercises. So, you know, when you're traveling, you're sitting in airplanes or cars a lot, you probably need to do some stuff for your back. But if you do the sun, do you usually start or finish with the sun
We
salutations?
usually start with that.
Okay, so if you're used to that, because sometimes people are a little tight and can't really like get into the sun salutations right away. But I would do that, get your energy going, get some blood circulating, get your body warmed up, and then sit on the floor. Maybe get into like cat-cow and do some spinal flex sort of stuff, and then just sit and do some, you know, shoulder, neck, wherever basically you feel like you're carrying the tension.
Okay, great.
That's what I would think.
And I plan in the Midwest region, we do conferences, so we'd be interested in having you as a speaker. We do the same thing that they do here. So
Oh,
I've got
okay.
your card, but I don't know
Excellent.
if you do travel
I would,
elsewhere?
sure.
Okay,
Which
and are you based?
state do you? I'm based in Massachusetts.
Okay, we're in the Midwest, so I
Okay.
have Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Minnesota, Ohio, and Wisconsin.
And you rotate among the states where you hold the
Exactly.
conference? Okay.
Yeah. So this is kind of the same thing here, the same group.
Yeah,
Ours
that'd
are
be
a little
wonderful.
bit bigger. We usually have about 300 people, although with everything going on right now with state budgets, our numbers might fall, but we're still going to have it every year. So, and we always get a speaker.
Okay.
So I think you'd be perfect.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
okay,
That would be
great.
great. Excellent. Well, thank you all for coming up and introducing yourself.
Thank
Do you have a card with you?
do.
And you found my card on the table? I didn't leave them out for everybody, but I wanted to
Yeah,
leave
my
a
peer
handful.
who's in the New Jersey office, she does the same thing for her region.
Oh.
So she gave me the card because we were saying you would be perfect for our
Oh, okay. And she's here at this? Oh, okay. She was
she'll be
part of
back,
this
but
conference. Okay.
She grabbed your info too.
Yeah. Well, if you have any other questions, you know, about your own personal practice or, you know, how you can fit these things in with your busy travel schedule, you know, feel free to send me an email or give me a call.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
Good.
Thanks again.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, John.
I figured this whole stress thing out.
You did?
Yep. Spend a year in Afghanistan. When you get back home, there is no more stress.
Life is good.
Life
Yeah.
is good.
Certainly puts things in perspective,
It
huh?
does. Yeah.
Wow. When were you there?
I got home April of 07.
Oh, wow.
13 months.
13 months. Oh, wow. Long
So I
time.
used to get stressed about everything now.
Yeah, right,
I didn't
right.
even get my room anymore.
No.
Everybody's ready to get their room. I said, I'll do
Yeah,
it.
whatever.
I'll do it-
Whenever
I'll do
it's
it
ready.
tonight.
Good for you.
Yeah,
Wow.
it'd be amazing.
Well, thank you for serving all of us. And
Retired now, though.
are you? So when you came back, you
Yeah,
retired
27
then?
years in the military.
Okay. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I used to think
What
things
branch
were-
are you in?
Army.
You're in the Army?
As a matter of fact, Terry Jim was a nurse at Brigham and Women's.
Oh, yeah, when you asked me
we
about
did,
her.
several medical missions in South America together.
Oh, wow.
So I thought
What countries were you
I know
in?
Brigham and Women's is a pretty big hospital.
Yeah,
I went
I think
to
there's like,
Guatemala, Ecuador, El Salvador, Haiti,
oh, wow.
and Honduras
Oh, my goodness.
as a nurse with the military.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. And
It was
so,
very good, very good.
thank you.
You know,
Thank you.
there's a big perspective that I got going over there and seeing what they're dealing with.
Yeah, definitely. Well, hopefully people can take home, like, just even one
little
thing
piece
makes
of
a
it, yeah.
difference, yeah. And everybody's in different places, so, you know, what connects with one person might not with somebody, with, you know, someone else. So hopefully they'll pick up on something that they want to take home and implement. Good. Well, thank you. Enjoy the rest of the conference. Hi
I've
there.
already had a chance to start using some of the stuff.
Uh-huh. Good for you.
I thought it was ironic that I was in the stress management seminar and my cell phone went off three
Oh.
I have a father that's 82 that's in a rest home. So he called with this problem and then two people from the rest home.
Oh, my goodness. So you're being...
Actually, I just let it go for a while. I didn't even pull it off to look at it. I just let it.
Yeah, yeah. How's your dad doing?
It's pretty good. He just went
okay.
from a nursing home to a rest home.
Mm-hmm.
So that's less restrictive.
Oh, yeah. Oh, good.
But,
oh, good.
Yeah, it's been a tough couple of years.
Yeah, that is tough when you're...
My mom passed away January of 07 after being in a nursing home for 2 years, and
Oh,
she had
wow.
a stroke in February of 07.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't even get to
So just
recover.
right after,
and
yeah.
Bang, I'm back doing the same thing. But
Mm-hmm. So is he able to take care of himself pretty much now, or
yeah, he's
starting
pretty
to?
independent.
Yeah.
You know,
he just needs some
definitely has
supervision.
dementia,
Yeah.
but he knows my phone number.
Yeah.
Get that in there.
Did he call you or the
did.
staff called you? Oh, okay.
And then the staff called me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess when he left the nursing home, they told me he was going to get a new cane,
Uh-huh.
and it hadn't arrived, so that we were perseverating on the new cane.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, that happens, that they get
He had
like
called and
focused
told
on
me that. And
one
the
thing.
nursing, I guess he called the nursing home, where he wasn't even there anymore, and, oh, where's my cane? But
Oh, wow.
just kind of let it go for later.
Yeah, right. You need to try and as much as you can just come back to breathing, being in this
Yeah.
experience, not worrying about what might be happening.
Yeah.
You might be perfectly fine, and yet you can carry that worry with you.
Yeah. But
So.
there's that. I got to
Well,
use it
thank
before
you.
I even left the
Thanks
room.
for I know.
That's quick.
Thanks for telling me. All right, Mark. Yeah. You want to do it again? Thank you for allowing us to tape you. And okay. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.
Well, I must tell you, I really enjoyed your presentation.
Thank you.
And
Thanks.
I really have the 3 P's down pat.
Do you?
Yeah.
That you're already doing them?
No, well, you know what? No, I'm going to actually.
What did she say?
Because I'm going to be unemployed after I do it. No, because I'm going to go back and I'm going to tell my boss when she asked me to do something. And there's no pleasure, no passion, and no purpose. But I'm going to take a deep breath.
There you go. You take a deep breath first.
And I'm going to make sure my shoulders don't go up. I'm going to take
There
it
you go.
right here.
Wow.
I'm going to take it. I'm going straight to the unemployment office. Very good, though. It was very good.
Thank you.
Very informative.
I am very impressed with how much you've been able to tell me back about it.
Oh.
The breathing and the pleasure, passion,
I have all your
purpose.
little quotes written down.
Excellent.
What are the 4 strategies? Real fast.
Breathe.
What are they?
One of them is breathe. One of them is have fun, right?
Be in the moment.
Be in the mood. Go ahead. What's the other one?
What's the other one? Gratitude.
Here you go, gratitude. There you go.
Good. That's excellent.
It's not gratitude, it's grateful.
Same thing.
Yeah.
No,
That's
she has to call
okay.
it right. She has to call it right.
Did you write a book yet?
I haven't written a book yet, but I did develop a sleep program.
And you know, that's
an
my favorite
audio
movie
program.
with Doris Day, Pillow Talk.
Pillow Talk. That's funny.
It's really good.
I know. Maybe I should write a book, but I'm not sure. There's so many self-help books out there. I really need like a unique perspective or direction for it.
But it was good.
So if you think of anything, let me know.
And I like your colors.
This is my daughter Lindsay, who I had stressed out when she was 3 years old.
And I like your colors and everything. You did good.
Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
It was fun being here.
Yeah, but we digested. We have it.
You girls are good. I'm glad you held on to that. That's good.
Yeah, we're gonna apply it too.
Excellent.
And y'all gonna be on unemployment right now. Keep it up.
But no, she said if there's no pleasure, passion.
No, I didn't say that that's all you do. I said you just need to bring more of that in.
That's right.
I didn't say it's the only
So you know
thing.
what? From now on when I work, I'm gonna find the pleasure in it, the passion,
And the purpose.
and the purpose.
Find pleasure coming in that baby.
That's right, find pleasure coming inside too.
I do it.
But when you swing the door open from now on, I want you to find some pleasure, some passion, and some purpose. Because you have to get.
But she always smiles.
That's right.
That's so funny. I know. Do you mind being on a video?
No,
Well, I'm going to do little video clips on my website.
Oh, you know
So-
what? This is so funny, y'all. All right, Mark. That's enough.
Well, I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Thank you. I'm glad they had some food out here for you guys. It's been a while.
You're in Rentham?
I am.
Pose of yoga compared to transcendental meditation, compared to prayer, different ways of meditate to relax. A lot of it goes together. There's not
Oh,
really
it does.
opposed
And
to
there's
each
no
other.
one, no, not
Yeah.
at all. And there's no one preferred way. You know, whether it's transcendental meditation, yoga, mindfulness, Tai Chi, prayer. You know, prayer is a form of meditation. As long as it's not worrying.
You know, want what you have what you want. It's kind of the same as count your blessings.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's
Found that all that interesting, trying to put that together.
Yeah. Have you practiced yoga or transcendental meditation before? Or?
Nope, I don't know anything about it. I just know
anything.
that's kind of the purpose of it.
Right.
Relaxation.
Right, exactly. Right, because when you're in that moment of meditating and you're focusing on a word or a phrase, you're not thinking about your stress and your problems and your worrying, and you just keep bringing yourself back to your focus. And eventually, you know, it's work and trying to get your mind to quiet down, but then eventually you get longer periods of pause, and that's what can kind of open you up to more peace. And then that goes with you throughout your day, so you're not as reactive to thoughts as you might be before you practice.
Nothing to do with your presentation, but listening at the beginning and how you introduced yourself and the latex and everything. I was wondering if you ever gave thought to home nursing and visiting nursing and all that stuff. Someone who loves nursing.
Well, initially I couldn't, because even in those, I did the home care for that gentleman I introduced you to. But I wasn't able to go into visiting nurse because, like in his environment, he was able to get rid of all latex products. So a lot of tubings and things like that were still latex. So
it's not just the
it wasn't
staff and all the people you're working with.
It's having, right, exactly, needing to touch things that might be tubings, and even blood pressure, you know, the stethoscope, that's latex, or the thing that you pump up. So he was able to actually change his environment to accommodate me. And people started using vinyl gloves so that when I came in, there wasn't that latex in the air. But in anybody's home setting, other people's home setting, that wouldn't have been the case.
Yeah, it's got to be horrible not being able to do what you love to do.
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough, and it really made me wonder, like, why? Because I look at nursing, you know, as I'm sure you look at what you do, as something meaningful, making a difference in other people's lives. So it was like, well, why was that part of me? You know, I thought I was doing good. Why was that taken away? So that's what really kind of led me down this, you know, it really was a spiritual journey in trying to find my path and what I was supposed to be doing.
Well, I just want to let you know I enjoyed it.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Hey, Laura.
Hey, Jen. I just wanted to say thank you. It went great.
Oh,
Everybody
good.
loved it.
Oh, good.
And so,
thank you.
Do we have a final invoice to pay you? Or?
You know, I didn't bring one with me. Do you want me to email it to you?
Great,
or
and we're all set to do your payment. So
okay, good. Well, thank you. Thanks for all of your work. It's so hard pulling this all together.
So this was great. I mean, it was really the people at the table I was sitting with do conferences all the time, and they said this was really nice and refreshing change to kind of focus on more of our life outside of work and in work. And so
right.
Thank you.
Right. Well, thank you.
Yeah. So we'll be in touch, and just if you send me the email once I have it, we can get things processed.
Okay.
So perfect.
Sounds good.
This is Beth.
Enjoy the rest of the couple of days. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Beth. I know you did a ton of work. I appreciate all the emails back and forth and helping to, and it was very helpful to get to talk to you and Laura ahead of time too, and kind of get a sense of where people were at and what they liked or disliked from past experiences and conferences.
Yeah, no, I think everyone really liked you.
Thank you.
Yeah, which is before we even had so much success, and I think you've.
Oh, really? Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah. I saw when I was being introduced and they said something about yoga, some guy like kind of joked around, and I thought, oh, they're probably like thinking this is going to be like the typical, like, yeah. But I've done enough working with enough groups to realize you kind of have to keep it practical. And
you did. You were great.
Thank you. Yes. Well, thank you. Excellent. Well, thanks for all your work. I hope you have a great rest of the conference. And a couple people introduced themselves. One man from the Midwest, so he said he might want to have me come and do a presentation for their group. Yeah, that would be excellent. Alan, exactly. He gave me his business card.
He's bigger and better than ours.
Yeah. He said they have a pretty big group of people. Yeah.
You'll probably be in like Chicago, that sort of area.
Oh, okay. Well, he practices yoga, so I think it really connected with him. Yeah, so that would be great. Good. Well, thank you again. I'm going to just hang here for a minute and then we'll pack up, so I won't see you. Okay, thanks so much. Bye-bye. All right, Mark.